On this fund, I will not yield, and Planned Parenthood will not yield.
All the odds are against us. Faithfulness is the word.
My religion compels me, and I love it for it, to be against discrimination of any kind in our country.
Our rights come from nature and God, not from government.
All God asks of you is faithfulness, faithfulness, faithfulness.
Fighting for the family, standing for the church, laboring to return to a moral and biblically based culture.
This is the American Family Association at AFA Today.
And here we are in deep freeze, New York City, and we are grateful that you're with us. AFR Talk is the network. AFA Today is the television broadcast and radio broadcast. And you're seeing a freezing cold Lady Liberty if you're watching on the AFA channel right now. She is as cold as it gets. 3 degrees when Kevin McCullough left his house this morning. How about you? We pulled out those things called long johns in our house, and it's just going to be one of those awfully bitter, disgustingly uncomfortable days. But we are grateful that you're with us. We've got a lot to keep our eye on here in today's stack of stuff to talk about, because the Congress is busy while everyone's cold and trying to stay warm. Congress is busy trying to monkey around with the economy, and when they do that, things get into trouble. And I'm going to set aside today's broadcast so that we can actually address this on a very serious level, because what we do not understand, friends, is that there are laws that are in effect, and it's easy for us to get emotional and reactive about certain things that happen, but it's also helpful for us to know the truth. It's also helpful for us to know that confusion is being purposefully fed to us so that we stay confused. It's helpful to know that there are people that are investing millions, even billions of dollars a day to keep you confused, and we are dedicating our purposes here to obliterating that confusion, replacing it with truth, and doing everything we can to help you pursue clarity. And we're going to do that on the economic basis today, so I hope that you'll stay with us in regards to that, because I do think this is one of the more important but often overlooked conversations that Christians and people of faith need to have, and so I'm hoping that we will have that in full splendor today. But I want to start with this little piece, because it's just about as funny as it gets. The Hill newspaper, it's one of those Beltway publications. It's all the smart people talking to all the other smart people, and just the regular people like you and me. We're not allowed to be in on the conversation. There's a whole big piece there today. The global warming is behind the polar vortex. You've now heard, haven't you, that this is called a polar vortex, this deep freeze that we're living in. I was watching the national championship football game yesterday, and they ran that Dr. Pepper 10 commercial where he's the mountain man and he eats bark and he carries the tree, and then he sticks his hand in the ice cold water and raises up the mitt that has the Dr. Pepper, whatever it is, in his hand, and then he breaks that against the ice, and there's this can of Dr. Pepper. It's the manliest low-calorie drink that's ever, whatever. That's what my hands felt like this morning. I made this compromise with myself. I ran out the door and I thought, you know what? The lovely bride needs to take the ankle biters to the doctor. Oh, and by the way, please pray for our youngest one, Jonathan. He's got some funny stuff in his lungs, and the doctor wants to watch him really closely for the next couple of days. It's worrisome, and it's something that we would appreciate prayers for. But anyway, I said, okay, I'm going to get my car out because I'm leaving first, and then I'm going to pull hers down as well. And I thought, I'm just going to be out there for a couple of seconds. I can just go get those cars, pull them down, and come back in and get my gloves because I forgot my gloves. By the time I got back inside the house, I had lost feeling in the tips of my hands. I had not been outside my house more than 5 minutes. That's how just nasty cold it is. So these smart people in the Hill newspaper, they're saying that this polar vortex, what we are going through, has actually been caused by global warming. The global warming is contributing and causing the frigid temperatures that we're going through now. I know. You think that when something warms, it gets warmer. Right. That's the way, because you would be thinking logically. You would be thinking with your brain. You would be ignoring the confusion that's being invested into your life to sell you an agenda, and you'd be saying, no. It's really true. When I light a match and I put it under something metal, that metal becomes warm. It doesn't become cold. The same thing happens everywhere else, but you're not supposed to think for yourself. You're supposed to just say, "Oh, what did the smart people say? If the smart people said that, then that's what we should obviously do whatever the smart people said." I got an email yesterday from a listener to this show that said, "Kevin, you don't have any room for opposing opinions." No, I have total room for opposing opinions. Dwight, call in. Make your best case to me. How does global warming start global cooling? Did you know that the argument, I got to spend a little time on this. You know that the argument about why we had to cut greenhouse emissions because this global warming, and by the way, I do believe that the globe gets warmer and then cools. I think that does happen, and I think it's happened in cycles for millennia. I just don't think that man is contributing much, if anything, to it. So, and you don't have any proof that they are. In fact, everybody say, well, the ice shelf is melting. We're losing the North Pole's going to just sink right into the ocean and flood Manhattan. They made some movie about that. Remember? They put the Statue of Liberty on the wrong side of the island. Man, these people. But that's been it. Well, the ice shelf. We're losing ice. Well, we're 18 feet more ice across the polar ice cap this year than we've been in decades. And it's gotten bigger and bigger for the last several years. And this year, this is the coldest temperatures on record in many North American cities. I know I'm not supposed to bring up common sense, but usually when something is warming, it does not get cooler. But this is not stopping the smart people, like Rutgers University climate scientist Jennifer Francis, saying that a number of papers about changes in a jet stream brought about by warming Arctic temperatures actually gave us the cooler temperatures now. Hey, whether global warming did it or whether it was just a cycle, isn't it good if the Earth was like half a degree hotter last year? Isn't it good that it's like a full degree cooler this year? If you are concerned about such things, aren't we at least on the right path? Personally, I'd love for global warming just to kick in altogether. I'm sick of this kind of weather. I would like it to be 73 degrees everywhere in the universe all the time. And if we can get everybody health care, why can't we do that? That's what I want to know. If we can get perfect insurance for oh yeah, we don't have that either. Yesterday, shortly after I concluded this broadcast, the lovely bride texted me. She said, "We have been hit." I said, "Hit with what?" She said, "The letter came from the health insurance people today, and we have been dropped as of the 31st of this month." I'm like, well, hey, nice of them to give us a little warning. She said, but they're offering a comparable plan. Well, all that went through my head was, well, if you like the plan you have, you could keep it. That's what went through my head. Silly me. But then what went through my head was, well, everybody will pay less. So I said, babe, call them back. Find out what the comparable plan is. And now $500 a month later, we'll have almost half the benefits we had under the old plan because of this amazing, well thought through public policy victory developed by the smart people, the same smart people that are trying to tell you that cold you're feeling right now is really because it's getting too warm. I wonder how that works. How do you live in a place where all you hear are harps and fantasy pipes playing all day long? It's just like you live in the imaginative fairyland. And whatever you say, no one has to ever be held accountable for it. You just get to say whatever you want. I don't know what it's like to live in that universe. But it is not the universe I live in. Because it was 3 degrees this morning when I left the house, with a wind chill of minus 15. And I want to be a good Christian and all. Genuinely, I do. But if one person had come up to me on Broadway as I was walking to the station from the parking garage and had said something about this being global warming, I might have had to club them with my mitt that was coated in ice. Not that it would have mattered, because I wouldn't have been able to feel it. All right, I feel better. and what's sad is, I know that this is not just in New York and Chicago. I know that Tupelo, Mississippi, and Dallas, Texas, and the whole 19 degrees is the average across the fruited plain today. So happy us. It's all global warming. Global warming's doing it all. Stop using that hairspray, Kev. Stop using the hairspray. We'll cut down on those emissions if we just stop doing that, I promise. All right, so here's what we've got going on today. A couple of stories that, and I'll probably, I may not have time to get to this. There's a court in New York State that has said something very odd, and I want to deal with the oddity of what it is at some point in time. But I feel like the economic news is more important, primarily because this is what everybody is noticing is happening while the government is in session in Washington D.C. We have to watch them. We have to watch them carefully. They are about to extend the unemployment benefits for another 3 months, long term. Now, let me get this right. There's 52 weeks in 1 year, right? Let's just do the math here. There's 52 weeks in a single year. The current extension of benefits plan runs 99 weeks. So doing the math, 2 years is 104 weeks. Am I correct on that? I think I am. 99 weeks would be what? 1 month short, roughly, of 2 full years' worth of unemployment benefits. Now they want to add another 3 months to that, which is what, another 12 weeks to the 99, giving us 111 weeks. 111 weeks. Now, I just have to ask this question. First of all, did you know they've done studies? They've done in-depth studies about how people utilize the unemployment benefit and what difference it makes. And what it does make a difference, friend, because this is not just magical fairyland money coming from the global warming capital of the North Pole. This is real money that people like you and I have to go to work for and pay through taxes and through benefit programs and all the rest of it. There's a very real dynamic. This money doesn't just come, falling out of the sky. They're people that actually earn this and then pay into the system, and then it's coming around, and that's how it works. So here's my profound question. If they've done studies in which they show that no matter what the length of unemployment is, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 99 weeks, or now, what is that, 26 months worth of unemployment. 26 months, 2 years and 2 months worth of unemployment benefits. They've done studies, and the studies show that it doesn't matter how long the unemployment actually lasts. What actually matters is when the person on the unemployment benefit begins to aggressively seek and find work wholeheartedly. And did you know that it doesn't matter the length of the unemployment benefit? That the studies showed that regularly they start looking about 1 month out? Hardcore, trying to find that job? What does that tell you? 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Congress taking up the idea to extend unemployment benefits another 12 weeks. Your thoughts on that, and some other economic truths that we need to obliterate confusion with when we continue on AFA Today on AFR Talk. I'm Kevin McCullough from the frigid freezer that is New York City. Coming right back.